everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom, or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 13, Say Yes to the Mess. Now, honestly, there is every couple that's on this season now, minus Kenny and Armando, is this title applies, Say Yes to the Mess, but I think they're talking about someone in particular on this episode. Now, before I begin, just like with any other video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Over here, we do 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day The Other Way, Before the 90 Days, The Tell-Alls, and Part 2 just wrapped the finale. If you haven't caught it, catch it on the replay. Be part of the replay gang, okay? Find it in our comments, or not the comments, find it on our subscription list below. So if you click that link again, you'll be able to find it. So appreciate that. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and leave your comments so I know what you thought about these couples, because a lot of these couples get the side eye. They deserve it, and they get it, especially from me. Just my opinion. All right, so let's get started. On this episode, we're going to have Holly and Wayne, Mary and Brandon, Sarper and Shekina, and TJ and Kim. All right, so let's just jump into Holly and Wayne. So it is their wedding day, and listen, say yes to the mess. Is it just me, or has Holly and Wayne, not just from the power grid going out, from Wayne having to deal with all that stuff, from having to build his own pepper spray stuff in his house to prevent theft and all those other things, and then him saying he lost all his money in the Bitcoin or whatever it is, and being in debt, versus Holly, who's been on this is going to be her third marriage, and her first one was annulled, or was it her second one? Anyways, her first one was less than a year. Her second one was annulled. And now she feels Wayne is the right guy. So as we see Holly getting ready for her wedding, there's a lot of things that's going on with Holly. She's very scattered, but Holly to me is scattered anyways. That's just in her nature. So while she's getting married, before she gets married, she's telling her mom telling confessional, that due to her religious beliefs, that the only thing that they're allowed to celebrate is a wedding. So that's okay. So she's going to do it right this time. She's finally found her man, finally found her soulmate. But why then is she breaking down in tears because she overslept her eyelash appointment from the day before? Okay, Holly, if you overslept your eyelash appointment, do they sell eyelashes somewhere where you are? I get it. You want them professionally done. And if you really, really want to get it done, set your alarm. Set it, Holly. But, again, Holly is scattered. Now, when we see Wayne, well, before I say that, is it just me, or does Holly give runaway bride in confessional in general, even before the wedding day? Don't she give runaway bride? We saw her run away from the restaurant or whatever when they were talking about the finances and she didn't have no shoes on. So this to me is no different. But when we see Wayne, he's walking into the venue with his mom and dad. He said his dad is his best friend and that he's going to be his best man as well. So that was nice to see. Wayne also said that he is the one that had the wedding catered and all the details. That was on him. Now, I will say, looking around the purple, that was very nice. I think he did a great job. He chose well. So, also, now we're waiting on Holly to, get dressed, come to the ceremony. Holly is overthinking things back at the apartment, hotel, wherever she was, getting ready with her mom and Wayne's sister. She's starting to say, I don't know if I'm making a good decision. And then when it shoots back to the wedding venue with Wayne standing there and the groomsmen, it was like, is she coming? Because it's been a long time. And then we see Holly finally arrive and the ceremony gets started. So Holly and Wayne are now married. So congratulations to them. Okay, so now let's just jump to Mary and Brandon. Now, Brandon says it's been 2 weeks since Mary has gotten pregnant, even though they've been trying. I mean, did Brandon just realize that, it only takes one time for the right swimmer to get where it needs to be to get pregnant? I mean, their storyline we've seen as time and time goes on, it gives, even though they're both 23, still so immature about how things are. Now, I will say there were glimpses of just a little bit of maturity in what she was saying to Brandon and in her confessional. So, Brandon said that he is trying to get used to everything in the Philippines. He said that he knows he sleeps a lot and he's into trying to, make peace with himself because he's got a baby coming and just all the things he needs to get handled. They need some more money coming in, all that stuff. Now, when we see Mary, she's in the kitchen washing dishes. She says that Brandon, all he does is lay around and play video games and sleeps a lot. She said this is not the Brandon that she knows. Okay. She said because before she got pregnant, she had help from Brandon. Like he was helping her with the household chores and everything. But now Mary's starting to see like, is this how it's going to be when the baby comes? Like I'm still going to have to do all this with no help? Well, I mean, maybe. We'll have to watch how it plays out. So as the episode progresses with them, we find out that they have to go to a place, a sorry, that's what they call a convenience store, to get merchandise to fill their store. Well, Brandon and Mary have now a convenience store as well where they sell chips and soda, candy, different little things. Mary says she remembers her grandmother having a store like this, and this is the type of store that can help generate income. Now, later in the episode, Mary did say there's a lot of competition. Sometimes things are sold at other places cheaper, so they would go to those other places. So the money that they're thinking they're going to generate isn't necessarily coming in like that. But Mary also said that to get the store going, that she had to borrow money from her friends and that she's in debt. I'm like, what? You had to borrow money to get this started? Like Brandon didn't come with any more savings. Like in my mind, he just literally sent his paychecks for the last 2 years. That's what he said. He got the house built and everything else because that is his house, but didn't have enough in his pocket to sustain. Nah, and he's sleeping all day and playing video games. See, Mary is starting to wake up just a little bit. That's why I said a few minutes ago, I gave her just a little bit credit for being a little bit more, having her eyes open. I'm not going to say mature yet, but it sounded like she might be moving in that direction. So Brandon says in confessional that the reason why he's not working is because of the language barrier, and that is a little bit harder to get a visa or work visa or K1, whatever, in the Philippines. But what does that have to do, Brandon, with you helping out the store selling those chips? I mean, Mary speaks the language. You can't hand the chips and put in the bag or whatever. So, Brandon, miss me with those excuses. Come up with something better next time. So, well, after they get back from purchasing stuff for the store, Brandon goes into the storeroom and he pulls out a ring. Now, when I first saw that ring in the box, I was like, is this jewelry from like a Groupon or something? Because it looked real, put 50 cents in to win something, Groupon, like that. Because it came in a heart-shaped box. I said, I know that is not no costume jewelry that he's trying to propose. Now, even though Brandon said it wasn't a true proposal because he didn't have anything planned, but he wanted Mary to know that he was serious to move forward. Yeah, the ring he pulled out after Mary was like, what's that? I think the ring says something like in faith, in hope, in peace, something like that, like a 2-word phrase. She was like, what is this? He said, well, I was hoping you would like it. So Brandon really picked up some costume jewelry that it seemed like it's something you could find like during like Valentine's events or even Mother's Day events. I was like, you got to do better than this, Brandon. You got to do better. Well, Mary said after the awkwardness of the proposal that yes, she would marry him, but in confessional, She said that she didn't want to make him feel bad. That's why she said yes. So, is Mary starting to see the light that Brandon wasn't really who she thought he was? But then at the same time, how could they know? Because their whole relationship was on the phone, like phone cam, FaceTime cam, 24/7, eat, sleep, use the bathroom, shower. Like, what kind of relationship was that? So now, hey, it's all circling back and you're finding out. All right, let's move to Shekina and Sarper. So there's a lot of energy with this couple. It's been a lot of energy before Shekina even got to Turkey. Well, the concerns are a lot of social media, how Shekina says that she doesn't know why Sarper is not posting her as a couple. And Sarper has told her that, listen, don't post anything up about us on yours. Don't say we're in a relationship, nothing like that, because, I just don't want to put it out there like that. And Shekina questioned him, like, so you don't want people to know that you're in a relationship? Like, that's why I moved all the way here to Turkey, to be with you, for us to be exclusive one-on-one. But Sarper is still pushing back, like, nah, that's not what I want. Now, Sarper did post a picture to the stories, which goes away after 24 hours. And she kind of said, the stories, like, that's come and go. I want to be posted up like this is us, right? And Sarper's like, I just don't know why you don't understand. She understands, but she's trying to, not see those red flags that's like floating in the wind in front of her face. Well, today they are at Sarper's gym because he's a trainer. And so some kind of reason, rhyme or whatever, Shekina thinks that Sarper is just the trainer for men only. She said that they had a conversation before before she even came over to Turkey, that he would, not train, women. Does she really think this was true? I mean, what world is she in her mind? Like, seriously, y'all, please let me know in the comments. Like, is she for real? Well, the first person that walked in to get trained by Sarper was a young lady who looked like it could be like, Shekina's niece. She had the same look, the same body, not the same cosmetic things going on, but the same features and stuff like that. And Shekina pulled Sarper to the side, like, can I talk to you? He's like, no, not right now. I'm working. She's like, how can you? But she did get out this little thing though. She said, how can you train a woman? I thought we talked about this, and kiss him on the cheek. So when Sarper went back to doing his business of training, she kind of takes herself to the back in the women's locker room, telling confession, like, I just can't believe we talked about him not training women, and this is what he does. I'm like, if he won't post you on social media, which you just talked about, not only before you came, but the day before, he's just supposed to stop training women because you was like, oh, don't do that because I'm here now. Okay. Well, you know what? She's in her feelings and she pulls out a sucker, a lollipop from somewhere. After Sarper's done training, he knocks on the door. He's like, Shekina, come on, open up, come on. Now, I thought it was a little bit aggressive, but hey, I guess that's Sarper, but it was still aggressive in my opinion. So he asks it's okay to come in, if there's no other ladies. She said it's fine. When they get to talking, she kind of asked him again. She's like, what are you doing training a woman? Sarper said, 90% of my people that I train are women. Why did she kind of act like this was like such a surprise? That's the part I can get past. Her acting like this is a surprise. I mean, again, the 2,500 women that she knows about and the bed you want to sleep on. So Sarper explained that in Turkey, that's what they do. He said that's how they make money. Men usually train women. There's nothing more to it. It's me and you one-on-one. I'm here for you. It's exclusive. So you know what? Let me touch on something too. I skipped this. Let me jump back to the beginning and then go back to that gym scene. In the very beginning of the episode, I guess Sarper decided to let Shekina know that, I only have eyes for you, and did his strip routine that he used to do a couple years ago. He still got the outfit. He was construction worker. And so he was giving her own personal dance. But why, when the dance was over, he was out of breath though? Like, how long was the scene that production cut out for him to still be out of breath? Was it like again, again, again? So when he was done, he was like, oh, did you like that? So they got frisky and they moved to the kitchen. Now back to the fitness scene. Yeah, when Shekina had that lollipop in her mouth, Sarper said, what are you doing? He took that lollipop out of her hand and threw it to the floor. He turned and was like, oh, she's acting like a bee. Shekina called him out to task about that. She said, first of all, what are you doing? And did you just call me a bee? Listen, again, that red flag blowing in the wind. Y'all know I can't sing. Blowing in the wind. What else does Shekina need to see and hear? He calling you out your name. He throwing stuff on the floor. He telling you that you need to weigh a certain amount. He telling you what kind of clothes you have to wear. He's still training women, and you just now coming to the realization that this is happening. We're going to leave it on that. All right, so let's move to TJ and Kim. So now TJ and Kim are back from the brink of a breakup. All right, so they are going to get married, and the wedding festivities over 3 days will begin in the morning. But in the meantime, the families are meeting up. TJ's family, and then Kim brings her dad and stepmom over to meet TJ's parents and Yash. So, everything should go smooth and peaceful before everything begins. So as Kimberly comes to the house, first of all, Kimberly's apprehensive anyways because her and Yash don't get along. Okay. But TJ did have a conversation with Yash before they got there saying, you know what, can we please make peace, make bygones be bygones? Yash said he would. There's wedding ceremonies coming up and he could put stuff to the side. So, but when Kimberly came in and there's a look that Kimberly has on her face. She gives like, I was going to say always, but she looks like she's just like bothered, like, it comes across to me. You let me know what you think. Is it a look of like, I'm too good or like, I don't have to be here or I'm doing you a favor? Like, let me know what that look is because it's definitely there. It's more than just RBF face for me. All right. So you can cut the tension with a knife in that room. But Kimberly's dad takes the lead and after saying hello to the parents, asks Yash and TJ, how are things going to be? Do we think we can put things to the side, let bygones be bygones? I want to make sure, TJ, that you are able to take care of Kimberly. And if so, do that. Learn to talk, learn to deal with things on a positive note. And so then TJ's mom said, she agreed. They definitely need to have more peace and definitely need to know how to make resolutions so they don't grow into bigger issues. And in confessional, mom said, as long as Kimberly knows the proper way how to do things, she'll be okay. She'll be fine here. I mean, listen, TJ didn't tell her everything that was going to be needed from her. So maybe things won't be fine on future episodes or future things that's gonna happen along the way. I don't know. So in confessional also, especially after Yash said that he didn't see any problems, he's gonna make peace, but he also said he couldn't guarantee what would come up in the future, that there wouldn't be any more disagreements, but he would work on how things were handled. Kimberly said in confessional that she feels like Yash was trying to pull the wool over the eyes to Kimberly called BS on that. She said it was just a Band-Aid. And you know what? On that part, I have to agree. I do think it was a Band-Aid and it was some BS. But I do think that he wants his brother, Yash wants his brother TJ to have a good ceremony. So, well, also, TJ took Kim and her parents up to the apartment to see where they would be living. And TJ made some modifications. There is finally a door on that bathroom because Lord knows there needs to be, especially being a woman. Okay. Because we go through things. There was different little things that he added in the place of different the mom said, Kimberly, you could do good things in your decorations, but there was just some upgrades that needed to be done. And so I'm glad he did that. So now Kimberly has less and less to complain about. let me say that again. Less and less to complain about, hopefully. So I was getting my words mixed up with them because it's a lot to say. I'm just trying not to keep it a long-winded thing with Kimberly and Yash, because honestly, we could sit here for over an hour just talk about this relationship that seemed like it's already real rocky, and maybe they might need to put it off for a little bit, get some marital or couples counseling beforehand. Just a suggestion. All right, so that wasn't an episode. Next week and on future episodes, we're going to see Kim and TJ's wedding ceremony. All that is starting to begin. Holly and Wayne talking about the wedding night the next morning in the bed. So read between the lines, but between that, see what, if they had a time last night. Then we're going to see Danielle and Yohan. They're still arguing about everything. Yohan is upset that Danielle hasn't given him the things he promised, the house, the car. He even said he did do this as a low blow. You can't even give me a child. I was like, oh my goodness. And then we also have Mary and Brandon. They're arguing, and she's telling Brandon, well, maybe it's better for you to leave to come back to America. So, oh boy, it's a mess. It's a mess. But I'm looking forward to see TJ in the wedding ceremony and how that's going to conclude going forward, because the scenes of them after they get married going forward is a mess, and I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe.